Om. Let's pray together, everybody. For those of you viewing online, join us in prayer. Om Gajananam
Bhutaganasevitam
Kapeta Jumbo
Balachar Bhashritam
Umasutam Sho
Kavinashkarakam
Namami Viganeshwara
Harpankajam
Sarvamangalamangalye
Shive Sarvatasadhike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani
Namostute
Guru Brahma. Everybody.
Guru Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Gurave Namah
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. Last night, where we finished chapter 50, 51. Last night we heard how the first battle, the first time our little cow herder, he goes to fight the father-in-law of Raja Kans, who is now deceased. How did that battle go? In that discourse is where the chariot of Krishna comes from Golok, Daruk, his charioteer, who becomes very popular throughout the moving of that chariot straight down to the end of his discourse. We heard the creation and the purpose behind the creation of the city called Dwarka. How was it made? Who made it? How long it took? And we heard the reason, which was important, the reason for this creation of this city. Otherwise, he could have lived in the family city of Mathura. He could have lived in the city of his father. This morning we continue where we left off when that Katha was done, and we heard of the sleeping person in the cave that destroys Yagnas, that person who is called Muchukund. We heard from him how God gives a person different type of burden, and he was talking to Krishna. After a lifetime of protecting the devatas, he was allowed to rest. But he says sinful people take the one thing God gives them, time. And they get so entrapped in all the different nice things that we collect in this life, the spouse, the children, the house. We start to identify as the children father, this one husband, this one wife. And all the prayer, all the time that goes into prayer for the people that pray. It's only prayer concerning these attachments, these things that they hold on to. He says, in order for me to get sleep, I had to understand that I would live for long. I would remain in this cave sleeping, and my body would not wither. But so much yoga has passed away. that my entire line has died, perished. I lose my family. He says, when I first came to sleep here, I wasn't ready for this. And I asked Indra if after protecting the devatas from all attacks for so many yug, I stood as a security guard. If this was the payment, if this was the gratitude that the same God I was serving, this is what the God would give me. And it is there he was taught that God does not give you these things. The hurts, the opposites, the happiness one day, sad one day is brought about by your own karma. The different type of karma, whether prarabdha, praschit karma, the karma you're born with, the karma that makes you a parent, makes you a worker, makes you a happy person, a depressed person, those things are coming with you from previous birth. Praschit karma is sitting by the altar, by the Bedi, and doing prayer. Dear God, I'm doing X, Y, and Z puja. Please accept what I am doing. Bless me, forgive me for what I have done, and allow me the time and the ability to be free from negative karma. A wonderful discourse. Baba, you can't turn your back to me on this asana. When he was finished, Krishna blessed him that I would come in time for your soul. Tells him the whole truth about his past incarnation. But he says, because when you were doing your duty, so many people lost their life. That has to be accounted for. So you are going to walk on the surface of the earth. You are going to purge yourself of this karma. And when you're finished, you will come back to me. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. As we are going into a different Katha of our Lord this morning, put your hands together. Our Lord is going to go and hear the prayer of a different type of prayer. A different call is going to be uttered in today's discourse. This being our 10th session. The boy from the village of Vrindavan now lives in Dwarka. Now has a crown on his head. He's the keeper of this fortress. And somebody's praying, dear God, I want my husband to be Christian. I want my husband to be Christian. I want my husband to be Christian. Let's do the Sumran before we go into the details of that prayer. Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadana Varana Vadana
Sumiro barambar Madana Kadana ke laal ko
Ganapati Kripa Nidan
Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavana
Gehu Mohi Vardan
Varno Bhasha Bhagavat
Jai Shivananda Kanda
Bhutanath Bhavabhaya Harana
Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan
Gauravarana Mangala Karana
He Braja Chanda Mukunda
Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana
Katahu Bhavabhaya Panda
Sharana Sharana Liyana Kara
Jai 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 Jagadisha
Sevat Shesha Mahisha Ja
Mahimamita Deva
Veer Veer Janat Nahe
Riddhi Siddhi सिद्धिदाता
सिद्धि सगन वारण वदना
सुमिरो बारंबार
मदन कदन के लाल को
सुमिरो बारंबार
मदन कदन के लाल को।
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Whilst they're wrapping up puja, let's do a little chant before we continue. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Ram Ram Bol Ram Ram Bol.
राम राम बोल राम राम बोल।
Krishna Krishna Bol Krishna Krishna Bol.
कृष्णा कृष्णा बोल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोल।
Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Shiva Shiva Bol Shiva Shiva Bol.
शिव शिव बोल शिव शिव बोल।
Krishna Krishna Bol Krishna Krishna Bol.
कृष्णा कृष्णा बोल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोल।
Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.
केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल।
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. When they had destroyed the army of Yagnas, continuing from last night, Krsna and his forces went and took all the riches that was left behind by the soldiers on the battlefield, and they brought it to Ugrasen. And they were now settled in the city of Dwarka with this great force destroyed. Jarasandhya does not even reach. After getting licks for that 18th time, does not want to come back to Dwarka, where the ocean is as if it is a moat blocking entrance into this place. It is restricted only to one main thoroughfare. Let's hear what happens in our first look as we hear about the form called Rukmini. I am in chapter 52, Skandha 10, and we begin in slok 15. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम।
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
जय भोले बाबा
पतितिं सुतं ब्राह्मण चोहिते प्रदयं धल्येति पुरधिं याति जय भोले बाबा
तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम.
Sukdev Goswami tells Parikshit, around this time, Lord Brahma had told the king of Anartha, Raja Revat, that it was time to get married his daughter Revati to Balram. Krishna gets married to Rukmini around this time, the princess of Vidarbha, daughter of Bhismaka. She's a form of Lakshmi. She got married to Krishna. Our little boy, the young cowherder, is now married. Oh, Parikshit. Krishna had to engage, although the girl had her swayambar and her father told her, you choose who you want to marry. Krishna had to run with this girl for peace. Wonderful discourse. Oh, Parikshit. Raja Parikshit says, I have heard that Krishna had used the Rakshas style of marriage. That because of opposition, he had to kidnap, he had to run, he had to take her and run to another place to get married. What caused this? Remember, in your Sanatana Dharma, there are 8 styles of marriage. Krishna had to resort to this because of the call to fight, the call to arms, the call to battle. People used her Swayambar to get at Krishna. And Raja Parikshit, the grandson of Arjun, who is listening to this discourse and all these discourses that we are listening to, he says, please tell me the Katha that caused Krishna to get married under this circumstance. If she is Lakshmi Mata and he is Lord Vishnu, how is it that people oppose their coming together? He says, listen. Brahma Krishna Kathaya Punya Madhavi Le Kamala Pata Kono Dirga Shrunuyatam Shrutu Gyan Nityanutam Yate Jaya Bole
Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Raja Siddhayo Nam Vidarbha Ye Pati Maham Ye Tasya Pankaj Bhanu Putra Ye Tam Kanya Ye Karna Ye Yati Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam
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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sukdev Goswami is telling Raja Parikshit, you have to understand the making of this scenario that happened when Krishna is going to get married to Rukmini. Yes, you've heard about the Rakshas. Rakshas is just a technical term, but in the 8 types of the wedding, we would like to practice the Brahma wedding. Brahma wedding, you have a young person getting married, and boy and girl, and they have to get permission from parents, innocent children. It is not about sexual attraction, it is not about falling in love, it doesn't have premarital sex, it doesn't have exposure to that side of life. Brahma style wedding. When you hear another type, is called Gandharva wedding. Gandharva wedding is somebody, maybe a widow or a widower, who has passed that virgin point, and they are living and getting married, maybe not only widow or widower, but a person who is marrying for love. These people, maybe they have a child together, to be practical. Maybe they've had intercourse. Maybe they've passed the virgin point. That style of wedding is called Gandharva. But when now you have Rakshas wedding, there are three types of the wedding that we don't practice anymore. We don't want that style. This is one of it. This style is where you are taking the person against the family's opinion. So it happens, but it doesn't happen on chariot and horse. So the person has to get married, but my father doesn't permit it. My father or my mother would not come to witness this style of wedding. The word kidnap makes it sound very, very bad, but it is misspeaking, truthfully. We witness this type of wedding currently in today's world. Whenever two people are getting married, let's say they're marrying out of the faith or out of the race, and to use an example, and parents don't accept it, they don't endorse it. And because of that, now it comes like you are making a step or a choice on your own. That is a Rakshas type wedding. Because in our wedding ceremonies, we involve all elders, father side, mother side. Somebody have something to do. Elder brother, younger brother, sister-in-law, somebody have something. And with this collective blessing of everybody, the Brahma style, just the word Brahma, indicative of the creativity, the positivity that would come from that type of union, not only of the two people married in, but of the two families coming together. Truthfully, anybody could marry anybody, especially if you're a consenting adult according to the law of the land. But the problem is, many people don't realize that when you get married, you're marrying not really the person, but the family as well. You have to coexist after the wedding. So now you're going to run into a problem. I didn't like you for here, I didn't accept you for her, And you maintain that. And that conflict causes problems in life. And for that reason, people don't really promote this style of wedding in our Dharma. We still ask, could I ask your daughter hand in marriage? Could I still get permission? Permission. Think about that. Why permission? The father, if he is alive, is the person in charge of the gotra, or for our simple language, the surname. He gives this girl the surname, and he is the person who gives her the Rasi name, all the blessings when they're doing the different sanskar. He sets her on a pedestal, and he grows this girl, for the example of a girl child, grows her into that. And now you want to take her from where she is to put her where you would like her to be in your surname, to do your work and your bidding. And it is only right that you ask the person who is in charge, because truthfully, in our Dharma, the reason this permission step is taken is because it says that the girl's body, her soul, is always marked by someone else. When you're born, you belong to your father's house. You follow the father's rules. You get the father's surname. You're not independent. Then one day you'll get married and you belong to the husband, his surname, his family, his traditions. Then one day you go again and maybe you don't change your name, but your lifestyle changed because they said that you belong to your son now. The family, in a different way, this lady is on a turbulent course that she's never truly independent. You hear it till today. My son had to carry me by the temple. Baba, I'll come in the bag, but once my son bring me, for example. And if you look at the tendency that your life is pegged at the beckoning at the mercy of another person. It could be daughter as well. My daughter had to bring me in the prayers. But look at it. You want to pray, you have to wait until somebody. You want to go to the doctor, I had to get somebody to carry me. I want to go home, I want to go in the prayers, husband got permit, or in some people's case, not permit. Daddy will give me permission or no permission. And part of the female experience, according to Sanatan Dharma, is to use this lifestyle, use the family life, use the duty of it to get the blessing that you want. What in Gita it does talk about it. Imagine God, Parab Karma makes you a mom, a sister, a daughter, whatever it is, and you throw away all of that. I'm going to give up all of that, and I'll just be a good Sanatanist. I'll do the best dar, I'll do the best prasad, I'll go temple. He says, throwing away your duty and all that you come to do and trying to pick up somebody else's duty, a different lifestyle, doesn't mean naturally you're going to get blessing. It could be an example of you trying something and you're getting damnation. That if your remit is children and grandchildren, you don't forsake those hungry mouths. You do your job, and on top of it, pray. In the Gita Mahatyam, he says, in doing your duty, you find the burden, the blessing that you're looking for. And in doing your duty, I could be in the kitchen cooking the takari, for example, but I'll pray there. I could be ironing clothes, I could be going to work, I could be in the taxi, and there's man or woman. And I'll still pray there that God is with you. What we've been hearing from different mouths is that yes, there are holy spots, there are tirats, but the biggest tirat is within you. Last time we heard about the guiding voice of Krishna telling you what to do, what to eat, what to wear, etc. He's with you. But the problem comes for a person of limited vision to sometimes, when you hear somebody use the word God realization, to realize where God is. To realize where he's standing. Hindu just try. We just put the 5 tikka on the bamboo. God, the 5 elements, just like the human body, when you go funeral and you see them taking out 5 times and they're doing 5 stop. Prabhu, let the life force come out of this body. And then when you're going to Papa Jandi, I put in 5 tikka. Dear God, we put in the life into the bamboo. The bamboo could make of natural bamboo. It could be made of plastic. It could make of metal. It could be made of wood. Because the logic is, the janda is just a staff holding the flag. The material change. Trust me, not every country have bamboo. Not everywhere you go, there's a living, breathing bamboo plant. Like me and you to cut a 15-foot bamboo. And going back to the point I made about the laptop or the electronic medium of what we would traditionally say the book. Whether you use the plastic, I'm talking about this because of a question. Whether it's plastic or whatever material, because we live in an era where men are at work, women are at work too. We have a little puja. I live in a concrete jungle. I live in an apartment building, not in the country like Pandit, where in the backyard it have bamboo. Even in the backyard it have bamboo. Me can't go and cut bamboo. Problem now when you have prayers. When you live in a society where the people in the temple is a lot of women, and you're in a predicament, how am I going to do my prayer? Consider this. If we were in France this morning, if we were in England this morning, and because of the temperature, some of the leaves, some of the things that we traditionally use just to hold up a flag don't exist, what then? People like in those places put simple what material they have, in our case a PVC pipe or whatever pole. The funny thing is, in India you might be looking hard to find a flag, you know. For the person who asks me the question, flag, no flag, you still do your prayer. Sometimes you cannot afford the flag. So does it mean I can't pray if I cannot do this? Truthfully, no. Prayer goes on. Vindravan Bihari Lalaki Jai. In answering his question, he says the first thing you have to understand, Rukmini was the form of Lakshmi, but she was born with some karma. Her father, Bismarka, has 5 sons, and then the daughter. Rukmini is his biggest son. Bahu, Kesh, Malin, and two others, and then Rukmini was the last. Because of how she's born with something called Tetar. Tetar meaning she has karma when it comes to getting married, her temperament, and she's always anxious in different discourse. When Sudama, for example, comes to meet Krishna and she see Krishna run, Rukmini is the one who wants to know who could make the emperor at that time, the big king, who could make him so unsettled. She always feel as if her position is going to be lessened, and Krishna always has to pacify her. Part of the problem with Tetar, they see problems to get married. The physical date, sometimes they cannot set the date. They're going to have the wedding. Sometimes the people have delays, or they have family conflict, or they have a death. In this way, the father thought it was time for him to marry his daughter, and he made preparations for this Swayambar. But because of her karma, he makes a decision that he is not going to tell her who to marry. Because of the fact that she comes after all this same male. The traditional thinking is if you have three of one sex, let's say in this case, 3 male and then the girl, Tetar. The girl and then 3 boys, Tetar. In the same way, it's just 5 in this example. So the father, being intelligent, says you will choose from all the Kshatri, from all the princes, you will choose who you are comfortable with. Nobody is going to choose for you, because it may have ramification, and I don't want to have to tote the burden of blame. Rukmini, the big brother, on the other hand, he hates Krishna, jealous Krishna. Because of the war he had with Jarasandha, he wants to favor somebody called Shishupal. He's a king of an area, and he wanted Rukmini to marry there so that politically they would be aligned and they would have favor with each other for trade and protection. Rukmini has it in her mind, O Parikshit, that the person she wants to spend the rest of her life with is Krishna. That person, Sitaram, that person who is living in Dwarka. And what she does, she asks a Brahman to go and relay this message to him. Let's hear what happens as she sends her messenger. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye Namastasye Sambhavatya pratiharo pratavishesha apashyadya purusha masin kanchanasen drishta brahmana yadiyate. Namastasye, Namastasye,
Namastasye, Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita
Kanchitadva kushalayate Brahma he jatayasya he praja Sukham dhyasanti yevesham Pallayamana he priya.
Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samskrita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu
sundari shritam teya Krishna kurvanta yena rupam drishti dreshta Rukmini yena chityate.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता.
She says, O Brahman, do my bidding. Leave Vidarbha, the current city where she is, where her father rules, and go to that place called Dwarka. He loves prayerful people. He loves Brahman. He loves people who live this lifestyle. Go straight to his throne room and have a meeting directly with him. Don't tell no third person. Don't send a message. Go yourself, I trust you, and speak with him and relay my message. When the Brahman went, Krishna allowed him to have something to eat, to refresh himself, calm down after the journey. And he says to him when they do finally meet, are you happy? Do you feel comfortable? Are you pleased with your reception? Did everybody do what they had to do? Or is there any lacking or any mismanagement of yourself? Please let me know. Please tell me where you are coming from and the purpose. I saw you came by the sea. Because of that side you're coming from, you make me wonder what is your purpose in coming to Dwarka. The Brahman says, I have come from Vidarbha, which is over the water, and I have come here to relay a message for you from the princess Rukmini. She has sent me here to tell you this. Please listen. O beautiful Lord of this world, you have entered my heart, and this body of mine I submit and I offer it to you. O Lion amongst men, please understand that for a woman, getting married, accepting a spouse, and all the responsibility, all the sharing and communication, that companionship that comes with it, sexual endeavor, family life building, all these things, part of the experience of this life is shared with a person based on the karma of the other individual. You inherit the person you have in your life as a spouse based on the good karma that you would have performed. It is because of not only a person's character or their charm in this life, O Krishna. People think if you have good ways, if you have good traits, if you could cook good, if you look attractive, you will get the best. And day to day, you live to see that may not be the truth. A person could get married to the best and then end up divorced, separated, widowed. You could be abandoned, although you are the best, you have the most money, you have the best package. It is not by that. It is because of the karma that God gives to an individual. They inherit what they have worked for. And when a person happens to have charming ways, ability to please the person in their marriage, a selfless way, a selfless heart and mind, body, for physical attraction is also part of this marriage. For the growth of family, the ability to reproduce and to have children, it takes two people. And with the proper karma, these two people live for one another. They smell each other, they talk to each other, they eat together. That bond is unique to marriage. And that bond is only shared by people who are alike so that they could enjoy each other's company. Through Good times and bad times, a person works and strives for this bond that of all God's creation, of all the people in the human race, I choose this individual to spend the time God has given to me. This person becomes very important in the existence of an individual. A person could have good days, happy days, supported days, if the spouse they choose is of the right nature. If the person understands that you could laugh in marriage, you could eat together, you drink whatever you drink together, we pray together, we party together, we cry together. When a person could have that type of marriage, then this life is full of felicity, a different type of joy that no other person could bring to you. If the person is living a dharmic lifestyle, they are only looking for that connection with one person. This person is able to give more than any other individual in this life. For this reason, O Krishna, today I am sending a message to you through this Brahman that is trusted by myself and my family. In my heart and mind, I have chosen you. O dear lotus-eyed Lord, I submit myself to you and I want you to know that I would like you to accept me as your wife. Just as how another animal, you ever see like a, let me say the bad dog eating something and another animal comes and touch it, depending on the animal, they wouldn't want to touch it again. You see it sometimes when in the animal kingdom somebody touches the young and the mother, because of how angry they get, they sometimes want to abandon the young. She says, if this body is touched by anybody except yourself, I don't think I want to share this life more time with anyone else other than you. In my life, you are the lion. You are the paramount. And because of how much good I have done all the vrat, I have done digging well so that animals and people can benefit. I have done all the different yagya. I have given various types of donation. I have done all types of Seva. And I have engaged that all, remember in our Dharma, we teach our young girls, you want to be happy in marriage, start to pray for it. Mangala Gauri prayer is a Devi's prayer that is specific for this. People who are theater, people who are mangalic, people who have different complex in their birth chart, but also generally girls start to pray. Mangal, Tuesday. Gauri, her worship. That dear mother, may you shine your grace on me. I would one day like to get married to the right person with the right ways, causing not only agreeable and amiable relationship, but imagine when we are checking compatibility. Yes, you think about children. Yes, you think about money, and Ghana is one of the parameters to see if the Ghana match or the Ghana bite, as how they say in Trinidad. Ghana is how the two people will mesh the temperament. Will they get along? Will they learn to love? Will they learn to communicate? Will they be happy? Or will they fight like cat and dog? Patra tells you that. In another section, Nari Gun. Nari is the pulse. And it tells you, if you marry this person, you will live long and happy. Or otherwise. Nari Gun is what predicts. If you watch a couple, you will see sometimes the lady is the weaker one, the man is like the lion. And I mean later in age. Or the opposite. The man is strong, the lady is weak. Or the two of them live strong together. And when maybe, for example, one die, you're going to hear the next one going not too long after. They cannot survive without each other. Because of this person, I will go up. Or because of this person, I will go down. When you check the sexual compatibility, telling you about children, if you marry this person, it could have cheating. The book does tell you about that. It does tell you if you will have children. What is the potential? What as we would say, you are checking to see, what if I get into this marriage, what am I getting into? Other than that, what we tend to do is really just hope that everything goes well. And hope sometimes does run short. So the Hindu who is responsible, think about this. To put it in perspective, the other day I was talking here, and I was talking about the numerology side of checking for land. If I'm going to buy a piece of land, if I'm going to buy a house, man, I have to check that to make sure the land good, the slope of the land good, the Vastu Sastra, if it have water in the land, if the road is to the north or the south, if the front door go face this side or that side, it good or it ain't good, it good, it ain't good. Make a decision based on numerical information. Score. Good score, buy. Bad score, don't buy. If I go to buy a car, the number in the car good, Baba, what do you think, Patra-wise? Add up the numbers. If you get 8, perfect, wonderful. If you get 9, leave it. If the license plate is 108, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 8 is 9. 9, don't buy. You'll have financial problems, stealing, these things could happen. That is why Hindus used to fuss over the number of the vehicle. So me and you go and get with mechanic and we research how and what is this car good. Sometimes you know what is good. The mechanic is just what the car. Yeah, it good. It look good. Sitaram. Yeah, it look good. But suppose Allah was judging me. Suppose I went to buy a vehicle and I didn't even check the vehicle. Say, Pandit, you're crazy, man. You should have checked it out. You should have do your diligence, man. Come like your buyers did say, cat in bag. You don't know what you buy. You don't know what coming. But then the biggest step, according to the book, you're choosing a partner for life. And you wouldn't check, you wouldn't consult, you wouldn't examine, you wouldn't do your research. Who is the family? What they come from? How did this behave? How did this live? You are looking at how you will live patra-wise. Get married and do the best wedding and hope for the best. And sometimes, you know what we have to realize? As a marriage officer saying this, you know, is the commonality with all divorce? Everybody they start off with love and a nice baby and a wonderful wedding and a lot of hope. It has worked for some people. You'll hear 25 years anniversary, and for some people it's struggling nowadays to have 2 years, 1 year. When a person chooses somebody, the potential that this person could make you into a better person, man and woman, it is there. It is there that you could feed off your partner. But if you choose poorly, the choice is yours. You choose wrong. The same thing that could have bring so much joy and happiness in your life will bring you worst form of sin, poverty, drag, damnation, grief, and depression. So it come like closer you are, I could get good or I could get really bad. For the person who went through separation, for the person who went through a bad breakup, a hurtful occasion, you know what I'm talking about. Rukmini says, I don't want to share my body with any other person. Because of this relationship being so important, I have been praying and doing good karma. And now my father has stipulated it is time to get married. I would like you to come. And I don't want the son of Dhamma, Ghosh, Shishupal. I don't want Shishupal to come and marry me. I want you to come. And with this way, she tells him, bring your little army, bring a force to Vidarbha, because there are people here who don't want to see you and I together. I'm telling you now, Jarasandhya, king of Magda, he is here and he is going to oppose your happiness. Nobody cares about my happiness. But I know, based on my father's law, I have free choice, and my choice is you. How I live, how I will eat, where I will sleep, between my karma and the standard that you have. I trust you to take care of my food, my lodging, the quality of my health, my happiness, the way I will pray. I put all of this in your hands. This is the confidence. This is the way I think from now about you, O Krishna. In order to remove all doubt, she gave this confidence and she says, I am going to have the bath calling the name of Lord Shiva. That is what it is, bathe them with the milk. We're getting ready to have this wedding. Come quick. Otherwise, I will never eat again. I am going to give up this form if you don't come and get married to me. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Listening to the words of the Brahman, Krishna slows down, stops all what he was busy doing all the time. And he wanted to ask the Brahman, did she really say that? Did she really send this message for me? Is it really her? Or is this a trap by Jarasandha to get me to come there with a small force so that he could lick me up, to kill me? Is this a plot? Or did she really want this? He says because of how pure her prayer is. It has happened that the goddess in different Katha, in different texts, look like when Lord Shiva had to marry goddess Parvati. He put her through the ringer when it comes to her prayer. Till today, when a girl has different type of trouble to stay married, there is always maybe a divorce in the person's history, or lose the husband. There are prayers that Parvati Mata introduced that is still practiced today. Krishna says, because of the purity of her prayer, I accept her in my heart. I will not sleep until I get there and I do the wedding and I have her. But I know her brother, Rukmini, the hatred he has for me as an ally for Jarasandha, for causing the shame. Not killed him, he didn't kill him. Nothing bad happened to Jarasandha, the father-in-law of Kans, but because he beat him and sent him away. Kill all the soldiers and send him away, and made him live in his own family and his own people. If they could boast, if they could say, we win, good, I'm proud, I'm happy, I'm a man. But now 23,000 men from first time, second time, all the way up to 18th time. He gets licks. And every time, go back. And they made sure never to touch the hair or give him a scrape. He doesn't look bruised. He doesn't look sweaty. He didn't fight. After they kill everybody, Balram and Krishna would tell him, okay, go back now. Go. You're finished for today. And because of that, he goes and he tells his friend Rukmini about how he was shamed by Krishna, and Krishna only wants to ridicule him, and for that reason I hate him. Krishna says the flame of hatred inside of this third party Rukmini is as if, we just say you're taking medicine for other people's sickness. There's no problem with Rukmini and Krishna, but Rukmini has a problem because of what Krishna did to his friend Jarasandha. He says, I know he's going to oppose and obstruct this wedding. He says, just as a person can raise a flame by churning fuel, just as a person could do friction, rub two sticks together, rub two stones, and bring fire. Sattvic fire is that way. He says, this girl from her heart, and not by any foreign source, brought the flame of devotion and prayed to me in this way, and for that I'm going to stand up regardless to what Rukmini does, and I will get married to her. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. He tells Dharuk, the charioteer from heaven, make arrangement. Bring Shaibhya, Sugriva, Mega Pushpa, Balakhata, the 4 horses that pull for the duration of his life. The 4 horses that pull his chariot. He says, get them ready. Let us go. and he leaves immediately for the city where they had this Swayambar. Let's hear what happens as the father, where the wedding going to happen, he is doing prayer. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye Namastasye
Namastasya Namo
Pitrahe Shraddha Samvyascha Vaiprascha Vidhi Vartanam Pam Bhojani Rate Yate Yate Charamas Mangale Yati At the very beginning of this prayer, where the Swayamvar is happening, the father of Rukmini does great amount of Pitri worship and then has a huge feast. And when the feast was going on, all the different princes and kings came together. In that Swayambar hall, we see Krsna arrive. And the father, knowing how his daughter is, what she likes, what she doesn't like, the father knew that this was her wish. And he got up and he met Krsna, he receives Krsna and he receives Balaram with due care and honor. Brings them in and gives them seat and all types of pleasantries. But the son of Damo Ghosh, that Shishubal, was opposite and he's eating himself. He's angry, he doesn't want to see him. All of them, Dantavaktra, Vidurat, all the enemies of Krsna there, and they don't want to see him win in this case, the guild. Yadha Gata Hari Krishna Ye Rama Bhardo Yudhaye Bharvrataha Yutasyat Sampalayate Iti Nishchatam Yat Yatam Namastasye Namastasye Krishna Chakra Gata Hitave Kanya Kalhashi Dhangayate Labhyane Mahatsurvate Tam Brata Svaya Paryate Namastasye Namastasye Evam Vidada Pratikshanti Govinda Gamana Nipatitam Varna Chaturbuj Ye Naitrasa Ye Nripati Nishayate Devi Sarvabhute Shushati Rupena Samstita Vindravan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. Krishna came to the hall and he started to receive gifts from the father of Rukmini. Everybody else is building pressure, watching him. The father sends out the message. Everyone is now seated. Everyone is here. Let us begin the Swayambar. And when what Rukmini heard is her father saying, the competition, this place is full. Everybody who has to reach has reached. But she didn't know Krishna was here. So she starts to cry. Why did Mahavishnu abandon me? Why is it that he threw me away? And then the Brahman reached back to her and he says, Oh Devi. And whilst he's talking, the left eye and the left thigh started to vibrate, started to twitch. And she thought that happy news was coming. He says, Oh Devi, the king of Dwarka, Krishna, who you sent me to meet, is sitting very patiently in the Swayambar hall. He is talking, discussing matters with your father. He is very delightful. As I came close to him, I felt as if I was in heaven. He smells of tulsi. He is truly, truly somebody worth having in this way as your spouse, as your husband. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. In this way he is received. She is happy. And all the women of that place are saying, look at him. He is so handsome. He is so beautiful. Only he is deserving of Rukmini's hand because of how beautiful Rukmini is. These ladies, the caretakers of the queen and the princess, they said that only Krishna is deserving of her hand. She is Bhavani, and if he is Vishnu, he should have her. All the singing and all the celebration went on, and all the prayer had started, all the different rituals had started. Rukmini, in the privacy of her room, went in to pray. Viprahe nipati mantasya tasya sampujitam yena Vishnu lokna vapnoti Shri kundake ye samshayam. In this prayer she says, blessed is that person who finds somebody to share this life, share the burdenous moments in this life, and to share the joys of this life. Blessed is the individual who could talk and converse. She says, blessed are me, who has gained now the Lord of the universe as my spouse. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Whilst everybody was looking on, they started to bring her out. And they told us, you know how the movie is, go and garland the person you wish to marry. This was a kind of different Swayambar. In the typical Swayambar, maybe there's a battle, maybe there's a competition, and who wins, that's the person. They look at it as God chose, God favored this person to win the competition, and for that reason the person has won. But in this case, it had a little competition, a little program plan, but Rukmini has the final say, and she went with her mala and she put it for Krishna, marking him, not to say they are married. It is not a Jaimal wedding. It did not have prayer, it did not have puja, fire, none of these things. As they say, X marks the spot. This is the person I am going to get married to. My father, I am letting you know this is the individual. Let's hear what happened. As she did it, all on the other side, Jarasandha, all of them started to quarrel. Ram, 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 Sita, Ram, 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 Sita, Ram, Ram, Ram. Yato yadhuram puriyatam shrunugamam ye hridayati Bhagavan hridaye ashivat Swambhiyakshayati Ram 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 Aho dirgam nischal ata swaya nishital gopayam mrigayate rukmaniyati Brishwamanye sarvarup manipar Ram 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 Siyapati Ramachandra ki Jai. All the enemies raise up to see this moment where Krishna is garlanded by Rukmini. In protest, they want to block, they want to throw, not only to fight Krishna, but why is the father Bhim of Rukmini, why is he allowing this to happen? All the proud kings, all of Jarasandha, all of them started to grab their this and their that. They're getting ready now to oppose. And Krishna held on to her hand. Before any type of situation, before anything could evolve into a fight, he grabbed her hand and they jumped on the chariot and moved. As far as Rukmini went, she had done what the father had stipulated. You choose. This is what we came to do. You choose who you are going to be married to. In today's world, we have, as a pundit, Baba, it have any nice people are looking for somebody nice. In today's world, the world has evolved in such a way that sometimes to meet good people is the hardest thing. They're locked up in their job or in school and they're not getting a chance to rub shoulders with people of a good nature. Where do you meet good people anymore? People want to go and meet a sober head, a sound head, but they'll go in a club, they'll go in a bar, they'll rub shoulders with a person, but then they'll come back now and complain, you're drinking every day, you're drinking every day, you're drinking every day. But where did you meet me? What was my lifestyle then? Sukdev Goswami says, when a person is looking for the right person, they must be able to inspect and choose the qualities that they are looking for. Know what you want. Many people are getting married just for getting married. This has always been there. The pressure of society against young girls in particular, you know how our family is so nice. So when is your turn? When you getting married, what's wrong with you? And you force people to make a decision without proper thinking. In this case, the father gives the girl the leeway to make a good choice because she knew what she wanted. And when she did that, before causing the slaughter of her family, before causing uproar and innocent life being lost, Krishna jumps on the chariot to take her. Jarasandha jumped on his horse and they start to give chase to get them. Sisupal became very, very gloomy and dispirited. Rukmi comes and says, I, O tiger amongst men, I am her brother and this is not allowed. You are supposed to be the person she's getting married to. Don't be like a puppet. Look at you. You're like a wooden puppet. Somebody's pulling your strings. Today you have life, tomorrow you have no life. Whether the person is lifting or putting you down, stand up and fight for what is rightfully yours. And the father heard this and he says, Rukmini, what right are you talking about? If the girl choose who she had to choose, that was my pronouncement. In the surroundings, in the witness, it wasn't no secret deal. It was no lie. She did not lie to me. She did not keep any secret from me. What are you talking about? Rukmini ignores the father, blames the parent. The son of Jarasandha says, listen, my father was beaten by that rascal Krsna 17, 18 times. And every time he came home, my father was very lifeless, just like how you are right now. Don't give up hope. Stand fast and fight for what is yours. Don't be so aggrieved and so depressed that you cannot do what you have to do. If you don't stand and fight for what is supposed to be yours, who's going to do it? In this way, consoled by all his friends, Shishupal gets up and he goes and he joins Rukmini and all others, and they start to chase Krsna with many soldiers. Rukmini even makes a vow that he will never enter into the city if he does not bring back Rukmini and kills Krsna. Not knowing the power of the Lord, Rukmini, this boasting braggart of a person, is calling out to him, stop, you stop, I'm coming for you at a distance. This same Rukmini starts to shoot arrows at Krsna and hits the body of Krsna 3 times. Krsna turns around and started to shoot back arrows, kills all Rukmini's horse, kills the charioteer, cuts the flag with the arrow. Rukmini now standing on his own. Krsna came off his chariot, and the brother charges with a sword. Krsna break that sword. And just as Krsna was about to kill Rukmini drops to his feet and says, no, not on my wedding day. Don't do this. Don't kill him. He's still my big brother. Don't do this. She tells him, forgive him, but punish him in a different way, but spare his life. Krsna took the broken sword on the ground and starts to shave the long, lustily haired, bright haired, when it's soaked with oil and it's shining and reflecting the sunlight. A method in this time. The hair was a source of pride. The mustache and all these things. Krsna is shaving, roughly, blood coming out of his scalp. And when he did it, and Balaram saw it, Balaram became very angry with Krsna. Remember last night I said that these two tend to fall out from time to time. It isn't just two brothers who accept anything or everything that the other does. Balaram is always critical on Krsna. He says, what is this? This Kshatri is wrong for what he's doing, but he is a king. Why are you belittling him? It is better you kill him. When you do all of this and you mar his body and you cut off all his hair and he has to go and face his family as a whipped person, as a broken person, the shame that he will feel, it is better the person die. Why are you playing this game? And he says, you don't understand, oh brother, the power of the prayer of a devotee. Here, when she called upon me with the earnest heart, she calls to spare the life of another individual. No matter how much wrong, how much sin, I will still forgive. I will still give mercy. Punishment is going to be meted. But he did not lose his life. He did not have to bleed. He does not have to lose his ability. A hand wasn't cut off, etc. And this form of retribution is dealt out for people that forget the code of conduct. You want to make me live by a code, but the person does not, they don't live by a code. They are not dharmic. They say one thing in this example, the father says she could choose. When she choose wrong. Becoming intoxicated with false pride and thinking that he is so powerful and his opinion is so much, he must dictate everything. And I am just trying to cut him down to size. Turn to Rukmini and he says, it is inappropriate for a person to hold the hair and hold the armaments and think that this is such a great thing. This is all you are. In this birth, youth and death. This is what a person becomes because of the body. But just as you have the body that is changing, imagine the moon is there, but when it's dark night, when it's full moon, when it is Amawas, the same moon that is there seems as if it is dimmer or it disappeared altogether. Not because you cannot see the divinity in the body means it isn't there. Sitaram. Just as a sleeping person in dream perceives himself to be enjoying some food or some fruit or some journey, but is it real? No. In the same way, compared to taking his life, this form of ridicule, punishment, disfigurement is done with a purpose to wake the person up from becoming so attached to this body that is temporary. It isn't you, but you have to learn from the body how to live. So I put in the person's body limitations. I put little telltale signs that you will stop being able to do this, you will not be able to do that, etc. And the body becomes a tool to teach the Jiva Atma self-control. Imagine a good example of this. We all love the parsad. Last night they make pineapple parsad. Earlier in the day they made mango parsad. What do they make today? Normal parsad. Anybody remember when we was in COVID and you couldn't get parsad? How you grieved to get the scent of that hawan to come in the temple. So much people they vexed with. Remember the police was sending message to pundits or temple owners, don't open your door. You cannot have or harbor people in this group way. You can't share parsad. You can't drop it off because the germs and the fingers now in the bag. And people grieve for it. And you go eat. Baba go eat parsad, Papa. Everybody say you have to eat the parsad before you go, Baba. Then you get diabetes. The body gets a complex. Sent by God. Nobody do your obia. Sent by God that is teaching the person now, do it less. You eat this and suffice. The body teach you. Pressure, sugar, you name it. Nerve problem, hearing problem, adjust. The body becomes a tool to teach self-control. Balram, if you think this body, this little deform is something big, he has something bigger. He has a problem inside his character. He is using prayer, weapon, his position to push his ways, his negativity. If he wasn't a politician, he would have been harmless. But because of his false pride and his position, he's dangerous because he will impact other people's life. For this reason, I have to reprimand my devotee, my people who come from me, but they get lost along the way. And one way I do it, not only death, mayhem, but I cause the body to switch up. Although it's your body, think what's in. Although it is your body, and you have the best intention, the same body, they surprise you. I don't plan. I don't say, okay, I want a cavity tomorrow. I want cancer tomorrow. I want high blood pressure tomorrow. If it is your body, shouldn't you be in control of it? But Christian now standing like the guy with the remote control for the AC, he at a distance put on trouble, take off trouble. But just sometimes you and I don't realize somebody else has the control in their hand. We focus and fixate that this is mine. It works for me. It have a purpose. I'm in charge. And then when you start to see failure in your own body, things starting to go wrong, things starting to not work, it there and it not working. The belly, the womb, the private, it not working. You wonder why. And in the same way, whether it is in your diet, your skin, sexual side, God teaches a person through the body, from the inside coming out. For the lusty person, maybe that side of life is finished. From the person who only lives for children, grandchildren, for loyal love, maybe that side of life is finished. Time to change, time to make a different priority. Going to last time where we talked about Yagnas saying, not Yagnas, the man who killed Yagnas, the Mukuchunda. When he says you have to walk away sometimes from all the attachment to spouse and children and the pet and all the land and the house and all of that. If a person cannot do it, Krishna is saying, I do it for you nonetheless. This is why he says, in this life, karma will give, and you live long enough to see karma or life, take it back. Take it back. One day you have a child singing and playing and praying and causing you to pray too like Yashoda. Oh, when this child gonna give me a chance? And when the child really give you the chance and he disappear, not in Bindravan anymore, then you had a different problem. Dear God, when I will get to see Maggie, the prayer becomes pegged against children and all the assets in this life. And in our discourse last night, he says how wonderful it would be if in your prayer it wasn't done only for spouse, only for children, only for tangible things, passing exams, etc. But it was just between you and your God, where a person just says, thank you for what you've given to me. Thanks. Imagine you did your prayer, and in that prayer, internally, you were so settled that for once, maybe not every day, because it is your God. So if it have a pain, in all fairness, you ask God for help. But some point, you just do your worship or you sing your bhajan. And that is the beauty of the expression of the bhakti. I'm not doing it. I'm calling you Nandalala, Nandalala, not because I want something, but I just want to sing your glory. When you're singing, when you're doing Bhagavad, remember it's bhakti. And in this expression of your love, the difference or the value of it, and this is why in Shravanam Puja, in the Shivratri Vrat, it talks about singing for the Murti, singing for your God. It is a way of doing prayer without expecting a tangible return. Without saying, dear God, I give you a flower, give me this. You can't say that when you're trying to sing for him. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. In this way, Krishna took Rukmini after marrying and scarring Rukmi, the big brother. He took Rukmini into the city of Dwarka, and under sastric injunction, they did the wedding, the style of wedding, where different gifts are given, but they walked around fire and so on. Vasudeva was present, and he received Rukmini as his daughter. And he blessed her that the children that will come from your body will always be great. Whilst this was happening, Rukmini, he feels ashamed. And he does not go back to the city of his father. He doesn't enter the city at all because he never would bring Rukmini home. He cannot kill Krishna. So because of his vow, he doesn't enter the city. He builds a little fortress for himself, and he lived out his life in that place, one side. Shamed, humbled, but shamed. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Put your hand together, everybody. Blessed is the person who listens to the episode of Krishna getting married to Rukmini, carrying away Rukmini. This discourse is something that is sung everywhere. The glory of Rukmini, because of her prayer, is emulated by princesses and princes throughout this life. Through the course of history, her bhajan, her kirtan, her story is retold time and time again whenever there is a wedding ceremony. Great is that person who would have witnessed this moment, that by listening to this holy history, a person gets the blessing. Just as you could imagine the people of Dwarka who get to see Krishna walk around the fire like a human, getting married to the goddess in this form called Rukmini. Just as how that person would have through darshan see Krishna do it, get the blessing by Shravanam, by listening to the person who could hear this history, imagine it in their mind, see the mala from Krishna to Rukmini, Rukmini to Krishna, see the wedding ring, see all these things. The person gets the blessing. For who is not married, get married one day. Find happiness, find health. Blessed is the person who is married, that if there are turbulent times, if there are troublesome times, if there are harsh times, bless that person that they will come out and overcome those hard times, heal, reconcile, and move forward. Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudatvaja, Mangalam Pundarikaksham, Mangalayatano Hari. Everybody, let's all stand as we do Arti, as we come to the end of this, our 10th session of Bhagavad. Jai Jai Bhagavatam, Hey Aditi, Papiyo Papasi Chariti, Jai Jai Bhagavata Bhagavanati, Hey Aditi, Papiyo Papasi Chariti, Ye Amara Granda Ye पंचये पंचमवे रनिराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल की आरती. Everybody. जय जय भागवत भगवान की पापियों ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन गाने वाला. शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन गाने वाला है. सुख करनी है सुख हरणी ये मधुसूदन के आरती जय जय भागवत भगवान की ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती जय जय भागवत भगवान की आरती पापियों को पाप से जय जय भागवत भगवान की आरती पापियों को पाप से कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी दीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा जय नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा दीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे दीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा जय नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा नाम शिवाय 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 Take it out, everybody. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च त्वमेव विद्या त्वमेव सर्वम् त्वमेव सर्वम् ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, श्री आदि शक्ति माता की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। जय जय सीताराम।